Hi everyone, it's Tammy with Frou-frou Studio. Welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing the hashtag 50 Stack Challenge 4, which is a weekly prompt challenge that is hosted by Amy at Crafty Cat. And you can check out her channel on Mondays, which is where she draws the 2 prompts for the week. The 4th challenge is she has in her little bag types of journals or ideas for different journals or themes. So you're to make 2 pieces of ephemera or art or whatever you like using the 2 prompts. And the idea is at the end of the challenge, you'll have 50 pieces of ephemera to put in journals down the road or as you go. I've already used some of mine in some of the journals that I've been making. So this week the prompts were ocean and abandoned house. So I'm going to make 2 pieces of ephemera to go with those prompts, and let's get started. I'm going to start with the ocean, and I have made this little accordion journal using some ocean or beach themed scrapbook paper that is by Graphic 45, and I have been hoarding this paper forever, and I just need to use it and quit hoarding it. But it's called Sunkissed, and it's a beautiful, the colors are really pretty, and the papers are beautiful, and have a kind of an ocean beachy theme with these adorable kids in it. And so I'm going to take some of those pieces and create a little accordion journal. These little journals that I make like this are kind of my in-between projects that I work on when I don't have a lot of time to work in a big journal, or if I get stuck on a big journal, like I can't think of what I want to do next, or what I get kind of stalled out, then I create these little journals to kind of just keep on crafting while I get over my little funk, I guess you could say, of working on the big journal. So basically you just glue your papers together and then fold them back and forth in an accordion fold, and it's kind of like a continuous thing. You decorate the front and the back, and you just can keep flipping forever. And so I like to make them really grungy, so I always tear off the tops and bottoms, and then I ink them up real good, and as I'm going through them, I make them real grungy. The thing I like about this is you can put lots of layers in there, and lots of little pockets and tucks and tags and such, and it kind of grows with it, and so you never get a gator mouth because of the way that it's folded. So that's always fun as well. It's not really made for writing. It's more made for just being interactive and just being something that you can look through, and it's interesting. So what I'm going to do for the color combo part is the front cover, and then I will continue to work on it, until it's completely full. So let's get started, and I'll show you what I came up with for the front cover. I think the first piece that I need to put on is this piece, and it's just, again, a piece of the paper, but I'm going to glue it on so that it's a tuck, so that I can stick this little tag in here like this. So we'll glue that down, but I want to put my little bottom piece down here and make sure that I'm doing it in the right spot. So I think that would be good about right there. Now, if you're going to have hangover, you want hangover stuff top and bottom, which is what I do. You don't want it on the sides because then you can't flip-flop the journal. And I'm going to use our glitter glue. And again, I'll be gluing this down like a little tuck or a pocket. So I just want my glue here and here. So how is everybody? I hope you're having a good day. Mine has been okay. The weather's much better today. It was very chilly this morning, but it has warmed up quite nicely. It's still not terribly warm, but the sun's shining, so that always makes it more bearable. Alright, and then I've got this cute little boy and girl, or cute little girls, boy and girl. They're both girls that I'm going to put on here next, and I just kind of kiss cut them out of the paper. And let's see, I think everything except the tip of her head. Let's go like right down here and over, because I want to be sure that that tuck is operable. Sorry if you just heard that obnoxious car go by. Okay, glue on the fingers. There's my towel. Got a little carried away with the glue there. Okay, and now I have this little piece of netting. It's supposed to be a ribbon, but I thought it looked like fish netting, so I'm going to kind of crunch it up a little bit and put some of that on here. Hoping that will glue that down once I put the other pieces on. And then I have a piece of, it's like parchment paper, but it's unbleached, so it's kind of looks like sand. Wrinkle that up. Then I have some denim. Put that on, and I'm putting it the lighter side up, what would be the inside of the jeans up, because I want the lighter color showing, the more faded. And then I have, this is from the paper, and it says, you probably can't see that, but it says Fun and Sun. I'm going to put that on here. And then I just have some strings and some fabric, and I'm going to cover up those other little girls because I didn't want to overdo the people on the cover. And that's denim string and just some white string. And then this is the piece that's in the kit, or in the paper set. It's got a bunch of punch outs that are different shapes and tags and things like that. And it has these circles. And so I made this one look like a button. I just poked a couple holes in it to make it look like a button. And that's simple because I do want to ink around this again because I roughed it up. And I had already inked everything, so that's why that did not take as long as it normally would. And crinkled it and all that kind of stuff. And it's got little fishies on the back. And that's going to tuck right down in there, like that. So there's my cover. And like I said, I'll continue to work on that until it's done. And once I get it all finished, I will show you guys how it turned out. But yeah, I think that's a really cute little start. And that is my take for the ocean prompt. And now we're going to work on the abandoned house one. And that one I have not inked, so it's going to take a little bit longer. I'm trying to get the gunk off the top of my glue here. A little bit later with this video today, I had to go to the post office today and mail some stuff, and then, oh my gosh, I got caught up in a movie. I had read the book, and I got a notification from Amazon Prime that the movie was out on Amazon Prime. It's called Book Thief. I don't know if you guys have read the book or not. If you haven't, I highly recommend it. But I watched the movie this afternoon, and it was so good. So good. So read the book first if you're a reader. And if you're not, go ahead and watch the movie. But it was very good. Okay. So yeah, I like that. And I think that's going to be really cute as we go through and make each of the little pages. Alright, prompt 2 is abandoned house. And what I'm going to do for that is I have this little house here, this little farmhouse. And I'm going to make kind of another tuck pocket, but I'm going to make it kind of a weird shape. I think that's part of the thing about me getting, I don't want to say frustrated, because frustrated is not what it is. I feel like that we get stuck in the rut of doing the same thing over and over and over. You know, you make a pocket, you make a corner tuck, you make a belly band. And that to me gets old. And so I have to take a break from all that and say, okay, now what can I do to do something different? You know, make something different that's not the same. And I get caught up in that, and I mean, it's nobody's fault but mine, but if you're purchasing a journal, then, you know, all that stuff is fine. But if you're making a journal and you do the same thing over and over and over, it kind of takes the artistry out of it in a way, to me. And I feel like I'm not being creative. Does that make sense? I feel like that I'm just being repetitive over and over and over, and that kind of bogs me down a little bit. So I have to take a creative break and do something small or something different, and then go back to the journal and look at it again and say, okay, you know, now I can create something that's a little different, a different collage, or a different tuck, or a different pocket, or, you know, whatever it is, because I've kind of experimented, you know, on something smaller and discovered something different. I don't know if that makes any sense to you guys. Alright. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue this in such a way that it kind of sits, I'll take this piece of paper out of here, that it kind of sits like this and then becomes a tuck. So when I glue it, I'm only going to glue half of it. Sorry about that, I have my pen in my mouth. It's one way not to lose it, is if you put it in your mouth. Then I have this little, just a Tracy tag. And the sole purpose of this is to bring in some red, because the picture that I'm going to use for my tags, or tag, has red. So I needed something a little red on here. And I'm just going to put it right here. Alright, and then I have this little die cut of Queen Anne's lace, which here in the South we call these chigger flowers, because they are covered up with chiggers, and you definitely would see them all over the place in a in an abandoned house or farm or lot, and they would be just covered with chiggers. So we were taught as children to really avoid these. so we wouldn't have chiggers. Which I don't know if you guys have ever had them or not, but they itch like crazy. You get them from walking around in the weeds. And if you ever do get them, from walking around in the weeds, you can put clear fingernail polish on them and it smothers them. So just a little home remedy there. From us country folks. And then this is a little die cut of a couple of little birdies. And I picked this paper because I think that paper looks like old linoleum that you would have on your floor. It reminds me of linoleum my grandmother had on her floor. So I'm going to put that there. And then I've got this little letter R, and it just, when I was looking for some of this other stuff, it fell out of my stash. And I don't know why, but I just like it. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't stand for anything. It's just an R, but I liked it. So I'm going to put it on here. It's a little bit thicker than scrapbook paper. And it's really grungy. So I like it. I want it to kind of go like that. So let me put some glue on my birds here. Okay, so there is my tuck. In my house. So now we're going to make the tag. And for that, I have a piece of grungy wallpaper. It's a digital. Scrap. And the color kind of matches. And I'm going to measure how big I want my tag. So if it sticks down in there, I think I want it about this high and about that wide. Okay, so I'm going to cut that. Oops. About knocked something off my little side desk there, but I caught it. Reflexes like a cat. Alright, now, when I measured my height, I go from that crease. Yep. So if I cut it at that crease. Okay, and then I'm going to use this little girl, and this is by Sweet Pea Curiosities, and I'm going to put her on here, and this is where I was talking the red, and I've got some music, just to kind of break up that background a little bit. And then I've got this number, which is Tracy Fox. Again, the number doesn't mean anything. I just thought it looked good with the picture. But first I need to back the wallpaper because it is just printed on regular copy paper. So we need to make it a little stiffer than that. I'm in my scrap bin looking for something to put on the back. Is that tall enough? Yep. Ooh, I like that side too, but that side looks good with that, but it doesn't look good with the linoleum, so we're going to stick with the original. Cut around this now. All right, now sorry, I'm reaching for my smusher so I can flatten that back out. And around this. I just love that old door she's standing in with the peeling paint on the door and that oval shaped doorknob. It's just too cool. And this is just out of an old hymnal that the pages were just an awesome aged color. And there doesn't have to be a ton of this showing, just a little bit. I need to change my glue page before I tear something up. Okay, I'm gonna ink around this. Really grunge it up. This could be the house number, right? It was number 38. Or, if it's rural, it could be Route 38. Get that little corner, just so it won't get caught. Okay, now I'm gonna cut the ink all the way around the tag, but I want to cut my angles first and put my hole in the top. Oops. Dropping everything, knocking stuff off. Okay, let's put a hole reinforcer on there. Wonder how much the, oops, another corner, sales of hole reinforcers have gone up since junk journaling became popular. Quite a bit, I bet. That would be interesting to know how it's affected office supplies. I'm missing all my corners, guys. Lazy with my glue stick. All right, so now see if I can find something to go in the top. And my little goodie box over here. I don't know if I want to go like that color or if I want to stick to like a grungy piece of fabric. What else? What else? What else? If I had something that blue-green, I could use that and tie in the blue-green on the tag. Don't want to put a little piece of fabric-y. I don't want it down where it's going to be tucked in. It'd have to be in that top corner somewhere. Like up in here. Ah, looky, looky. Okay. All right, so it's not a big enough piece. I do think I'm going to put some in both corners. And I may stitch around this as well. I'm going to stick it on with this right now. And if I decide that I'm not going to stitch it, then I'll come back and put some Fabri-Tac on it. Do we want to put a couple of buttons on there? Like, all right, so that is going to go be a tuck. And so when it's in the journal, it would be glued here and here and across the bottom so that you could stick your tag down in there. So that's what you would see until you pulled it out. So with that being said, I think it needs a little bit of this down here. To balance it. No, but I use Fabri-Tac for that because I'm not gonna sew around that. I don't think. Okay, let me look, see if I got a teeny tiny button in here. Yep. Okay. I have pulled out this other tag that I thought about using, and I think I will keep it with it for when I make the journal that this will go in, or find a spot for it in the journal that I'm working on. It says every possibility begins with courage, the courage to imagine. And I think that is a wonderful saying for people that do junk journals, because I, in particular, create a story in my mind every time that I do a journal. So, you know, it's saying everything is possible when you imagine it. So, I think that's very appropriate for junk journaling. And you could, you know, make the tuck here, and then once you put it in the journal, technically you could have another one over here if you wanted, because the pocket is not very wide. So lots of ways you could do that. But anyway, so there is that make, and I think that turned out really cute. And again, Sweet Pea Curiosities for the image. This image I can't remember where I got it from. If I come across it, I will link it in the box below. And then I think this was Tim Holtz wallpapers, but to me it doesn't look like wallpaper. It looks like linoleum, but it could very well be. So that is our abandoned house make. And then for the ocean make, we did the cover of our little book here with the graphic 45 paper that is called Sunkissed. And this is a couple years old, at least a couple. So I don't know if it's still available or not, but it's a really cute book. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed that, and I will see you guys back on probably not until Tuesday for Color Combo 2024. So until then, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys then. Bye.